Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Jamie's in Provo, Utah with the Red Raider baseball team. They'll take on BYU tonight. We'll have the game for you at 6:30 with balls and strikes at 7. So a little bit later here, but right on schedule local time there in Provo, as they're an hour behind us. So it'll be 5:30 there, 6 o'clock first pitch. But here, 6:30 and 7. That's really what we care about. Have you had any root beer yet, Jamie?
I have not. I don't think I will either.
You're not a fan?
Is that a big thing here?
Yeah, it's a huge thing there because of the lack of caffeine. I mean, you walk into a restaurant there, and I mean that's there. Hey, would you like some root beer, sir? Would you like some root beer? Would you like some root beer? Would you like some root beer? I mean, every waitress and waiter that comes up to you will offer you root beer. They've got a ton of it there.
I went into one last night, and they didn't offer me any. Oh,
shocking! You found the one place.
They saw you coming and knew you just wanted Mountain Dew, Jamie.
Let's see. Good morning. Taking my radio to the rodeo tonight to have Texas Tech baseball on. That's good. That's a good listener right there, Jamie. Got my regional softball tickets yesterday. Getting the RV ready for a Friday trip to the Rock. Let's go. Yeah, they sold all the tickets, Jamie, for the softball series, which begins tomorrow for the regional here in Lubbock. So that's good. Hopefully it'll be a raucous crowd.
Yeah, that's great news.
Yeah. So
but remember, Chuck says they'll still be able to find you a ticket.
What do you mean, Chuck? What do you mean Chuck says they'll still be able to find you a ticket?
You say just go to the game. You can find a ticket.
Yes.
They'll find you a ticket.
Yes. Go. If you have not gotten a ticket, go to the game.
Even for this one, you think?
Yeah. Somebody will be. I mean, they don't have tickets in hand anymore. They'll have to transfer it to your account. But I mean, I would tell you. Will there be somebody out there selling them? I don't know. I miss that. There's a part of me that misses the hey, I got three. Who needs two? Who needs one? I need one. I miss that.
My favorite part is when there's a guy over here going, I got 3, and the guy over here going, I need 3, and they can't talk to each other.
Oh boy!
They're literally feet away.
I miss that. I miss being able to walk up to a game and buy a ticket and know that it's legit from somebody. Because anymore, you've got to be suspicious. Because if somebody hands you a ticket, you go, oh, "What's this? Why isn't it on your phone?" It saddens me to a degree that you just can't.
Saddens you.
That you just can't walk up to a game and just buy a ticket from some soul out there that thought his wife was going to go and she ends up being sick or got something else to do, and it's just him and a buddy, and they've got an extra one, and you need an extra one just to get in. But it's just
bad deal, man.
It is a bad deal. It is a bad deal because that's another thing that just eliminates human conversation with each other. Which nobody wants to talk to each other anymore.
They'd rather just walk up to the ballpark with their tickets that they already purchased because they were prepared ahead of time and they were super simple to get purchased.
Yeah.
You just, you go online and 30 seconds later, it's right there at your phone.
Yeah.
On your phone, you're good to go. You could just walk into the ballpark and watch the game.
Yeah.
That's
I know,
so
but I mean, sometimes you need
man.
sometimes you all of a sudden you find yourself with an extra 2 or 3 hours like that you didn't think you had. Like, what if somebody's here?
So you're going to waste it talking to some rando outside the stadium?
Yeah, if they've got a ticket.
For 2 or 3 hours?
Well, no. That you've got an extra 2 or 3 hours, so you decide you're going to go to the game at the last minute, but you don't have a ticket, so you go so you can buy one from somebody out front.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so hey, here's the deal for tomorrow. This is pretty cool. Texas Tech Athletics is hosting a pregame tailgate all 3 days of the NCAA Regional that will feature free T-shirts for the first 1,000 fans and free food for fans while supplies last. The tailgate will be set up 3 hours before first pitch and feature a live DJ as opposed to a dead one that fans can enjoy. Fans will not need a ticket to enjoy this event, so you could just go to the tailgate. And enjoy. How cool is that? I think that's outstanding. Doesn't sound like you have to be
go to the game, but yes, it's very cool.
I mean, you don't have to be a member of anything. You don't have to show your club card or anything. You just go. Just go and enjoy.
Did you tell us where it was?
The tailgate will be set up. Let's see. There's I don't know exactly where it is, but Rocky Johnson's over there by the UMC and stuff. Cultural
just
Center.
Over there.
Yeah, it's just over there. Just look for the lights. Did you ever do that when you were doing high school football games? You're going to a new town, and
yeah, it would help. Sure.
You'd go, hey, just look for the lights. You'd be in some small rinky-dink town, and you look for the lights. The football field's got to be over there. This, agreed, Chuck. Boss would give my mom an extra free ticket from a pack purchase, and I would tag along knowing that someone would be selling a ticket in the parking lot. Yeah, see, there you go. Now somebody wants to know where's the tailgate. It's over by the ballpark. I don't know specifically exactly where it is. If you go to texastech.com. Now here's some sarcasm, Jamie. Yep, thanks. Going to the tailgate. Never been to a tailgate. Okay.
Hey, that could be true. Not everybody tailgates.
I think that's sarcasm.
I am going to say that it's not necessarily sarcasm.
I think it's...
They might not have ever been to a tailgate at a softball game.
Yeah.
And it could be different than football.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking on the... I'm sure it's going to be right around Rocky Johnson Field there. So,
you would assume since they didn't list a location that it is right there at Rocky Johnson.
Yeah,
that would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm looking right at the map at texastech.com. So, but seems
like that's one of those you can't miss it.
Yeah, right. There'd be a big tent, be smoke coming up, and lots of people would be gathered there.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Button time for this day in sports history. Today is the 15th day of the merry month of May. Here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Going to start in 1918. Washington Senator Walter Johnson pitches in a 1-0 game. It's a complete game that goes 18 innings.
We have heard a lot from Walter Johnson lately.
He was really, really good.
Yeah, no doubt.
1941. I do this every year at this time. I want you to remember what's going on today. Because New York Yankee Joe DiMaggio starts a 56-game hitting streak. It was the only hit that generated an RBI today in a 13-1 loss for the Chicago White Sox. Remember what we're doing today. I say this because at the end of the 56-game hit streak, I will also mention that it was broken today, and he would have gotten a hit in every game between the two. We haven't played the regional softball yet. When we get done, it'll be past July 4th.
Okay.
That is how shocking that stat is.
The 56-game hitting streak. Yeah. That's a good one. No doubt.
1973. California Angel Nolan Ryan, first no-hitter, beats the Kansas City Royals 3-0. In 2005, track and field, men's Texas Tech team captured the first ever Big 12 title in Manhattan, Kansas. The men's squad recorded 149.5 points for the victory.
They probably had to run on a cinder track there, but they got the job done. Did you ever run on a cinder track, Jamie?
Probably.
Yeah, we had one. We had one in high school.
I think so.
Our high school had a cinder track.
I'm saying this was 2005. I imagine it was a little more upgraded than that.
I know.
At a major university.
It was just
holding the Big 12 tournament.
It was just sarcasm is what it was.
Yeah. 2022, a couple of things happened. Number 9, Texas Tech defeated number 3, Oklahoma State 6-4. The win secured the series sweep. Tech's third in a row in Stillwater, as the Cowboys had not won a home game against the Red Raider baseball team since April 6th of 2014. And in 2022, Major League Baseball Pirates win 1-0 over the Cincinnati Reds, despite accumulating no hits in Pittsburgh.
What year was this?
2022. They won a no-hitter.
They won a no-hitter.
While being no-hit.
Wow.
Walk, stolen base, sack fly, sack fly.
Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for coming. Drive home safely.
It is National Chocolate Chip Day. Not chocolate chip cookie day or ice cream, just the chip.
So you could do whatever
you want to do with it.
Okay.
And I will enjoy all of them.
Yeah. Jamie, if I offered you one of the two, because generally 3 was the magic number at our house. You got 3 chocolate chip cookies in your lunch, homemade lunch, or you can have a serving of chocolate chip ice cream. Which would you prefer?
I would definitely take the chocolate chip cookie.
Okay, yeah.
See, I would take the ice cream.
I'm with Jamie.
Chocolate chip ice cream is my favorite ice cream. Like, that is the top of the barrel. I am the only one that likes chocolate chip ice cream over chocolate chip cookie dough or mint chocolate chip or any other version. That is my favorite ice cream.
When I worked at the 31 Flavors, or 32 or 33, how many there were at that point in time, we would make chocolate chip ice cream milkshakes and then chop up a banana in it.
I mean, that would be tasty.
It was very good.
Happy birthday to Ray Lewis, who is 50. Emmett Smith is 56. Andy Murray, 38. George Brett, 72. John Smoltz, starting pitcher or closer? What do you think of him more as?
Oh, it's definitely a starter.
Yeah, me too.
58 today. Don Nelson, 85.
Don Nelson's still alive?
Don Nelson, 85.
The NBA coach?
NBA coach, turned 85.
God, I thought he was dead.
AJ Hinch, 51. And one of our coworkers, Dan Patrick, turning 68 today.
Oh, how about that?
So happy birthday, Dan.
Still plugging. They're going to be on
Family Feud.
Family Feud. Do you think we would do well with the Family Feud? Let's play the feud.
No.
Oh, goodness.
I think we would do relatively well. I think if we had, because I think you throw in the Tech Talk guys, Dr. Mike. I mean, he's full of all that kind of stuff. Plus Clint. I think Jeff and I could score well at that. And Jamie, you could contribute.
We would get 3 strikes very quickly.
No. I think we could play the feud.
We would all overthink it.
No.
And on this day,
disagree.
1765, Parliament passes the Quartering Act, outlining the locations and conditions to which British soldiers are to find room and board in the American colonies. The Quartering Act required the colonies to house British soldiers in barracks provided by the colonies. If the barracks were too small to house all the soldiers, then localities were to accommodate the soldiers in local inns, livery stables, ale houses, vacated buildings, and houses of cellars of wine. Should there still be soldiers without accommodations after all such public houses were filled, the act read, the colonies were then required to take and hire and fit for the reception of the Majesty's forces, and who were uninhabited houses, outhouses, barns, or other buildings, as shall be necessary. Notice what was not said in there. They will kick you out of your home without you knowing, and demanding that they would have room and board. That is the image we have in our head of the Quartering Act. It was not permitted, nor was it really done. But in the U.S., we like to be asked if you're going to be moving in instead of told. And that is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history. All right, that little indicator means it's time for a lucky local winning word from the home zone, making your house a home, and Double T 97.3. All right, all you have to do is go in and enter this word. Bullfighter, if you don't want to play, I understand, but if you do, and the rest of you Ranger fans, certainly hope that you don't use your bitterness against this word. Bobby Hot Dogs should be all over this word. Because all you have to do is go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com, enter this word, and you could win $500 today. You could win today. You got to get it in now, because
it's Joe Buck, isn't it? He's getting the word's Joe Buck.
On Tuesday, it was Jody Sullivan, who I did confirm, Jamie, is a guy. Jody is a he. Okay.
Apparently, he's a friend of Choice's. So. Okay,
well, he's a friend of others too, but I did not get that confirmed by Choice. Your lucky local winning word at 6:52 this morning is Astros. Astros. A-S-T-R-O-S. We will have the Astros and the Rangers on tonight. We'll join it in progress. This will be after Lubbock Cooper softball. They take on Grapevine tonight at 6. This is baseball or softball playoff action from Graham. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Then we'll have the Rangers and the Astros. It's the first of 4 tonight from the ballpark in Arlington. It's part of Rivalry Weekend in Major League Baseball. The Lubbock Cooper baseball team will also be in action tonight. They'll take on Argyle, and they'll play at Abilene Christian. We'll have that for you on Young Country 93.1. That'll be at 7:30 this evening. I would think that Argyle would be a team. They don't sound that tough, Jamie. I wonder if they have I wonder if they have Argyle suits that they wear for their baseball trips.
Argyle is a powerhouse in high school sports.
Okay.
What round of the playoffs is this, Jamie? 4?
I don't know, but it seems like in every sport they're really, really good.
Okay. We'll find out.
I feel like they've won a couple girls' basketball state championships.
Okay.
In the last 10 or 15 years, at least.
We'll see if they can hit the baseball tonight against Lubbock Cooper and the Pirates.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Makes me feel like I want to go watch some football today, with the NFL. Lucas, Jamie, asked Rob Bro yesterday during, I think it was the end of the bench, if you would rather watch a NBA game or a NFL game, an NBA playoff game versus an NFL game, and Rob and I think Collier also chimed in on this, that it would be like, if it's on in July, I'm watching the NFL. If it's on anytime, I'm watching the NFL, and I'm the same way versus the NBA. My appetite for the NBA is zero. All right, so for the Cowboys, Jamie, and this is great because I love this comment. In the 4th paragraph of the ESPN article, talks about the Cowboys in the Cowboys article. It says for them the bye week comes at a good time for the Cowboys in Week 10.
In between Monday night games.
Because they closed the season with 6 of 8 games against teams that made the playoffs in 2024.
It's a good stretch.
Yeah. They open up with 2 division games. I don't like this. They play the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champions, to open up the regular year on Thursday, September the 4th at Philly. And then 10 days later, they'll take on the New York Giants at home in Arlington on September the 14th. So I don't understand why you've got to start off with 2 divisional games. Cowboys have like the 5th toughest schedule, according to the experts.
Having to play the NFC North will do that to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Green Bay, who was a good team last year, and Detroit and Minnesota. Yeah, those are tough games.
Yeah, and then you're also playing teams in the AFC West, which includes playing at Denver,
Kansas City. Yeah, good teams too.
at Las Vegas, and then you host the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. That'll be Patrick Mahomes' first game as a pro at Jerry's Place. They'll also play the the Los Angeles Chargers. That game will be in Arlington. So yeah, I mean it's just crazy. And then the date for their last game will be January 3rd or the 4th at the New York Giants, which is kind of odd. I guess it's in flex, right?
Right. They want those best matchups that have something to do with playoff implications for that last game, and put it in a marquee time slot and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the Cowboys playing 4 Thursday games? That seems excessive to me.
It seems like a lot, but and then there's 2 Monday night games, and so just 2 Sunday night games as well. I mean, we know, because people love to watch the Cowboys, whether you love them or you hate them.
I heard this yesterday. The Cowboys are on in primetime 6 times. Only one other team is on in primetime more, and that's Kansas City. They have a couple of dates that they said circle this date in this ESPN article. One is October 26th. The Cowboys play at Denver. The Cowboys have lost 7 straight to the Broncos. 7 straight. Wow. September the 28th, the Cowboys take on the 2023. Well, they take on the Green Bay Packers, so it's a rematch of the 2023 wildcard game. I don't know if I like it when they use rematch, because very few, the number of players that were on both teams is very few. Same with coaches. So it's a rematch of the team names more than anything else. And then they take on the Chicago Bears, and your new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, used to be the head coach of the Bears, obviously. Here's something that I didn't know. The Cowboys will take on the Arizona Cardinals in Arlington. I think we've heard this number quite a bit, that Kyler Murray is undefeated as a starting quarterback in Arlington. 2 of those games were NFL games. He won 5 games as a high school kid at Allen when they played at Jerry's Place, and then won a Big 12 championship game for Oklahoma there in Arlington. But here's the deal. As a starting quarterback, only Dak Prescott and Tony Romo have more wins at Jerry's Place than Kyler Murray.
Interesting.
It is interesting, right? It is interesting.
I mean, obviously, he got to play there in high school.
Sure.
It feels like he has a pretty unfair advantage.
Yeah, right. It's just one of those, interesting kind of bar trivia kind of things, if you're into those kinds of things. Cowboys went 2-7 last year at home. They got to turn that around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, they just got to turn that around. I wonder how ESPN felt, because they were supposed to have this exclusive, of the schedule reveal, and it's kind of like this big damn deal of May the 14th. But then they kept leaking all these games. Oh, this game's going to be this, and this game's going to be this, so that there really wasn't much drama left by the time it was all said and done.
You think the Cowboys will have a winning home record this year, Chuck?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No. I mean, in addition to your normal games at home, against your divisional foes, you have you have Green Bay, you have Arizona. I think that's going to be tough. Kansas City, going to be tough. Minnesota, going to be tough. Los Angeles Chargers, going to be tough. Tell me who you're going to beat there.
Did you mention the Vikings?
Yes, I did mention the Vikings.
Because that one definitely be tough. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, and then you look at your own division. I mean, you've got Philadelphia. I mean, defending Super Bowl champion. They didn't lose a whole lot. The New York Giants. Okay, you might beat them. You're not going to beat the Commanders. I think they're too good a team.
You beat them once last year.
Yeah, but I just feel like that. I feel like that team is just. I feel like that team is for all the teams that people talk about, it just seems like the snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger for that team. It feels like
I definitely feel like it's a team heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Especially on the NFC side. I mean, the challenge that they have is Philadelphia, and they'll play them twice in their own division. So,
well, considering the two teams that played in the NFC Championship game are also in your division, this just in the NFC East is going to be a hard division to win if you're not either the Eagles or the Commanders.
The over/under for the Cowboys is 7.5 wins.
Under.
Yeah. I mean, you got a new coach, you got a new coordinator, you got a quarterback that nobody really likes.
No, that's not true. I'm sure his family likes him. As a human being, he's not a bad guy.
No, he hasn't done anything wrong. You're exactly right. He's been a stand-up.
I don't know that his teammates don't like him.
Yeah, he's been a stand-up. He's been a stand-up guy, no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just the Cowboy fans.
Cowboy fans
that actually want him to win that don't like him.
Yeah. Did you look at your Buffalo Bills schedule?
I did not.
Okay. I didn't know if you...
I bet they play all the AFC East teams twice.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
They do. I just was curious. Let's see what their over-under is here. They're a really good... their over-under is 11.5 wins, Jamie. So, 12? I bet you they get to 12, the Bills. Not even looking at their record.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Was Redskins and now Commanders. With the better team is not always won. That's kind of what's good about a rivalry and division rivalry. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see you take one from the Eagles or the Commanders. Just like you did last year with the Commanders.
Yeah. I'll just say this. If you're not at least 4-2 after 6 weeks, you're in trouble. Because you play the Giants.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble to begin with. To me, it feels like a tall task for this team to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just saying but my point is that because you play the Giants, the Bears, the Jets, and the Panthers in the first 6 weeks, okay? So if you went 4-2, you'd have a little mo going into your home game against the Commanders on October the 19th. But if you start off 1-4 and then have to go to the Jets and then the Panthers back to back, I mean you could be or 1-3. You could be it could get ugly really fast. Because after those 6 games, you've got Washington at Denver, Arizona. You have a bye week at Vegas, then the Eagles, then the Chiefs. That stretch of Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders. Whew, that's tough. That's tough for any team right there. And then finish up with the Giants.
Let's hope your boy Shoddy can coach him up, Chuck.
Shoddy. Robert says this. Don't be surprised if they win 10 or so games. Dallas will win 10. Jerry did everything to gut the team last year so Mike wouldn't win. Oh, so that's why. Jerry gutted the team so that Coach McCarthy wouldn't win. 10 wins, Chuck. That from Robert. Meanwhile, Juan M. says 6-1. He's a jaded Cowboys fan.
I think that's 6-11, Chuck.
6-11. What did I say?
6-1.
Oh, 6-11. Yeah. Got ahead of myself.
Little different there.
Yeah. I was just thinking about how Juan M is the original Juan. Almost like original Juan better than Juan M. OJ. We could call him OJ. Original Juan.
I don't think we need to call anybody OJ.
Okay.
That's not a nickname anybody wants anymore.
Probably not. 5-12, somebody says, with a 21-point loss to the Bears.
I mean, I'm not going to say it can happen.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like the Bears will be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. This this for Dak Prescott. Remember this: he's 9-4 all time against the Eagles. And Jeff, do you remember his personal winning streak against the New York Giants?
I do. That's why I counted the Giants twice.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, he's only ever lost the Giants once.
Yeah, he's got a 13-game personal winning streak against the Giants.
Yeah,
that just shows you how bad the Giants franchise has been.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Cowboys have not been great.
No, not.
That's ugly. That's ugly.
Yeah. Do you think the Eagles make it back to the Super Bowl, Jamie?
I think my sense says no.
Does your sense?
Partly because there's a lot of good teams in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just because of the Super Bowl hangover that lots of teams end up having.
No doubt.
it's also really hard to get there twice in a row.
No doubt. Do you have a sense that we'll have two new teams that haven't been there in a while in the Super Bowl?
No. I sense that the Chiefs will be there.
Really? Okay.
Why is that a really?
Well, because at some point in time, the luck is going to run out. They went 15-2 last year, and all their wins were single score games.
Is that what they call that? Luck.
Well, you have to have a little bit of luck. I mean, also,
sure. Yeah,
it also helps to have a great quarterback too,
and a head coach, and targets for him to throw to, and
sure,
yeah,
a defense that just can put pressure on the quarterback. All those.
How
things.
many offensive linemen did the Chiefs pick up in the draft?
Well, they picked up one big one, and then I think they got one couple in free agency, or got another one.
You're not very smart if you're taking a little offensive lineman.
Yeah, right. This Lions in the Super Bowl, book it. I mean, that's not.
They lost both of their coordinators. I wonder if they'll take a bit of a step back.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Washington there. Madeline Mack says 13-4, and y'all are going to look silly. You're going to look silly, Madeline Mack, because I'm going to put that in the big book. 13-4 for the Cowboys.
But I mean, in fairness to Madeline Mack's comment, I mean, we're going to look silly whether they go 13-4 or 7-10.
Oh, I don't know.
We're going to say dumb things to make us look silly either way. He didn't preface it by saying we're going to look silly about the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to look silly. That's what we do.
Y'all going to look silly.
We need to be nice to Madeline Mack.
I'm not gonna wear a clown suit in here. Okay.
His 10th grader got in trouble 6 months ago for listening to us, and when then he realized his dad wasn't mad, the kid said, "Power of the morning drive." That's a listener right there.
Yeah, that's a good kid right there.
So we're not going to wear clown suits?
No.
Is that what we determined?
Yeah, we're not going to.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Come to you from the First United Bank studio. Jamie is in Provo, Utah. He's a little mobile today. And Jeff and I are here in downtown Lubbock. Hey, Jeff, by the way, your Chicago White Sox, they're 8-6 in the merry month of May.
They've had a good week. Or 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean,
don't tell them.
They
don't need to know.
They've got the Pope on their side now, so that's good. They brought back their longtime organist, Nancy Faust. She banged on the organ, Jamie, from 1970 to 2010 and missed only 5 games.
Wow.
Five games.
Wasn't one of them because she was giving birth?
Yes.
Like literally giving birth that day.
Yes.
And was,
right.
Performing the next day.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's exactly right. I love a good organ. I mean, and they brought her back. They're going to have her for 6 Sundays. One of them was Mother's Day a week or so ago. So I think that's outstanding that she's doing that. She was the organist for the Bulls for a little while, and also for the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, Shoeless Joe and the Blackhawks have been unbanned.
Black Sox.
Black Sox. What did I say?
Keep saying Black Hawks.
Black Sox. I'm sorry.
That's the hockey team.
Yeah, the hockey team. Black
also
Sox.
in Chicago. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
just
that.
A little different.
Black Sox. Just my words sometimes get ahead of my brain. And it doesn't take much for my words to get ahead of my brain, Jamie.
Well, it happens to all of us. Yeah.
Isn't that your default position? It's your words are ahead of your brain.
Unbanned after 105 years. Okay, so the Cubs and even the soccer team up there, and I think even the Blackhawks and the Bulls. The de facto national anthem singer up there was a guy by the name of Wayne Messmer. He could really sing the national anthem. Wayne Messmer. He did it for the Cubs for years and years and years. All right. As
good as the Sox have played as of recently, they're still only 5-5 in the last 10.
Yeah, I got you.
And they're still 14.5. They are already 14.5 back.
Right. No,
other team in baseball, right? Yeah. No, I take that back. The Rockies are 21 back. And the Marlins are 11 back. Pirates are 10 back. That's it. Everybody else is less than 10.
Yeah. Rangers won last night. They took down the Colorado Rockies 8-3, as Jeff said in SportsCenter. And the Astros take 2 of 3 from Kansas City as they won 4-3 last night in Houston. They've now moved on to Arlington, where they'll take on the Rangers tonight. We'll have that game for you. We'll join it after Lubbock Cooper softball. They take on Grapevine in Graham. Those softball games go pretty quick, so we should be pretty good shape. Probably first inning when you get the Astros version of the Rangers call. And of course, we'll have Red Raider baseball tonight from BYU in Provo, Utah, as Tech takes on the Cougars of BYU. Will you, if offered, Jamie, will you try a cougar tail?
I plan to seek one out.
Oh, you're going to seek one out? Wow, I feel like that's breaking news.
It's just a donut, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's a big donut.
Well, I eat it all, but
it's a 15-inch maple bar.
Yeah.
Has been named ESPN's Concession Food of the Year twice. At an average football game, BYU sells 8,500 cougar tails. Cougar tails made by a 15-person crew that starts working before sunrise before football games. They 4,500 pounds of dough, frying 2 miles of pastries, and icing 70 buckets of maple topping. The cougar tail is so large that it's considered more than a regular donut, Jamie.
Yeah, it does sound like more than a regular donut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely give it a try.
Let's see. You want to take a wild guess how many calories are in a cougar tail?
Nope.
Okay. Do you want to know?
Sure.
542.
Okay.
I bet you can work that off.
Yeah, it doesn't seem outrageous.
No, doesn't seem outrageous. I had a serious question for you. Now I've lost it. Oh no, I was going to tell you this because, when you look at the Big 12 standings right now, Texas Tech is 12-15, Oklahoma State is 12-12, and Houston is 11-15. Cincinnati is 14-13. And Baylor is 11-16. So I was curious about how the ties are broken in the Big 12 as far as determining the criteria for the Big 12 tournament next week. The first is head-to-head record is considered. If then a tie still persists, the next tiebreaker is the record against common conference opponents, followed by the record against the highest placed common opponent, and so on. If the rules don't break the tie, then they use things like conference strength of schedule, overall wins, and then even a coin flip, Jamie, can be used.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems
Yeah,
that seems kind of nutty.
Yeah, it does, but it's not like you're gonna go play an extra baseball game to get it done. So,
And at this point in time,
it's also way down the list too.
Oh yeah, right. It's way down the list.
At some point, you guys are too close. Here, call it. It just makes it easier.
So I guess at this point, 1, 2, 3. It looks like at this point in time, West Virginia, Arizona State, TCU, and Kansas would be your 4 that gets a bye. But Arizona and Kansas State have something to say about that because they're 16 and 11, right behind Kansas and TCU, who are both 17 and 10. And Kansas has to play West Virginia, and West Virginia is still obviously in contention to win the Big 12. So not only those games mean something for West Virginia in terms of winning the Big 12, but they mean something for Kansas, Arizona State, and Kansas State because you might see a change in the top 4.
Yeah, you'd love to have that first round bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And only have to play 3 games.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case for the Red Raiders, but it is what it is at this point. See if you can just improve your lie a little bit with wins this week over BYU.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.